Alright, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to another Stormgate video here on ExpeditionRTS. I have a replay for you. I'm playing Celestial, and right now I have the burning question of how does one survive mass exo? I think the issue is with my build order efficiency. Of course, I am a fairly slow player. I miss macro cycles all the time, which means I'm going to be floating money, which means that there is obviously some optimization that I am missing that would give me an edge, but that shouldn't have too large a factor, simply because I'll be facing players who have the same economy problems. So the principles should carry over. The question is, surviving mass exo, what is the key? Because so far, in my experience, the Ardents get a little bit outclassed by them. And by a little bit, I mean a lot of it. And also the kiting is too strong for the Kree. The Kree to actually catch up. So I thought that the answer would be the Dark Prophecy, and it might still be. I actually wasn't able to get it up and running. I clearly didn't get Therium early enough, and that's exactly why I wanted to make this video. So, as I said at the beginning, I'm a fairly slow player. I have chronic fatigue, something I've mentioned in some of my older videos on the channel, which means that sometimes my hand shakes, my brain gets foggy. It allows me to play at the level, or it prevents me rather from playing at the level I'd like to. But again, the principles should all carry over. What I do at the speed that I'm capable of should be able to apply to higher levels, just more refined. And even with that said, I'm not fully optimized yet because I'm still figuring the game out, and I know a lot of people are in the same spot where the game's new, and the longer the game is out, the better people will get at the game. But for people who maybe are a little bit newer to RTS or have been on the grind for a while but haven't figured out the rhythm of RTSs yet, I wanted to take you on the process for how people refine these skills in these games and learn a game. So right now I'm faced with a problem. That problem is that exos are very strong. Now, on the one hand, I could go to Reddit and just complain about the exos, but a lot of the fun of the RTS is finding a dilemma like this and working it like a puzzle. So, we're going to be moving out. Now that I finished the intro, I'll kind of speed it up and get you guys to the action. So, I'm going to be moving out with these Ardents. This is just with the goal of putting on a bit of pressure, making sure that he can't just build up unopposed, but I don't have that much going with these units. Now, I stop here because I'm actually busy at home, making sure that stuff is happening, making sure that things are being built, that I'm starting structures, and then I'll mess around with these in a second. They've missed their window. Not that they ever had much of a window. So Ardents are actually quite slow before you get their upgrade. So here I'm going to back away with the intent of starting the camp if he gets too close, forcing him to fight it before he's ready if he wants the chase. And he recognizes this and immediately backs off. I'm building up Ardents at home. I try to get some vision out. I think everything so far is okay, except for I'm floating too much Luminite. too many Luminites. So I come back home. I started to float that money because I was distracted by saving these Ardents. And there is the argument to be made that that was not worth it. Sometimes RTS is about deciding where you need to spend your attention rather than how to spend your resources. Because attention really is a resource. You can only look at so many things at once. Even the pros run out of attention resource. Actually, there was a very fun show match that Pig did in StarCraft 2. So if you're watching this, you're probably a fan of RTS in general, and StarCraft 2 is still a great one. Very fast, very difficult. It requires a lot of attention at a minimum just to keep your stuff alive, but they showcased, Pig showcased specifically a show match in which 3 pro players controlled a faction, and 1 pro player controlled another. And the difference that it made in just being able to have 3 times as much attention to spend, it is just massively different. So anyway, I know right now that I'm floating a bunch of Luminite. Means that I could have started this arc ship sooner and started mining from this sooner. I potentially also could have produced a morph core to come over here and mine this therium, because right now I cannot afford my upgrade. I had to wait to even start the structure here, and so I only have, let's see, where is I only am starting to produce a single Animancer for that Dark Prophecy. So the Dark Prophecy creates this area of effect attack that is great for clearing out squishy units that are clumped together, like the exos. But the issue is that the Animancer is having to stay still when they use that, so it has to be winning the fight to an extent. But I'm hoping that it's able to. And the other issue is, of course, that I haven't researched it yet. And so that's an issue in the build order. I don't have enough therium. I'm trying to spend it on these on the Ardents. I probably should have dropped a few more creation chambers at this point. But at this point I started to get a little stressed out and slow down. But yeah, these are the things we have to look at when we're trying to improve a game. So I start these here because I'm trying to hunker down. I actually lose the Animancer, and it doesn't end up mattering because I can't afford to make any... Why don't I have therium income? Oh, okay, it's just slow, that's right. Of course. So the Celestials, they, instead of taking 5 lumen at a time, they take a long time to mine 50, so it goes up in big jumps. So I should have actually taken 2 of these and moved them over here. Yeah, looking at the replay, I could have just snagged these 2 prisms, had them over here. I wasn't producing enough prisms either. I kept missing prism production, and you can see that the exos are just shredding me. If we actually back up, though, let's take a look and see if I was just behind in the game. Because here's the other thing that you have to consider. The whole point here that I'm trying to work on is the exos are really strong, and that means that it's difficult for me to actually defeat his army. So again, rather than jumping to the conclusion that the exos are too strong, I can look at the game, and because I'm not spending this, look at that. He actually has more supply than I do. Now, he has a lot more supply in bobs than I do. I actually am down on workers. So our army supplies are probably similar, but I can look at this and realize that I'm just behind in this game. So when you're playing your own games and you're trying to figure it out and you're stuck, hit up those replays and look at what factors might be introduced here. Because I could be producing way more. I should actually be able to have more than this this Vanguard player does. If I had been spending my resources, my army would have been considerably bigger, and I probably could have held off in time. I maybe even would have had Dark Prophecy and a bigger army. So ultimately, that is exactly why I wanted to showcase this game, is that sometimes it's not that we are doing anything wrong. Sometimes it's just that, at least with the concept of our strategy, but sometimes it's simply that we aren't being efficient enough, and our opponent is being more efficient. It has nothing to do with the strength of exos. Well, actually, I think I think it still does have to do with the strength of exos. I have been ahead in the game and still lost to exos, but I'm pretty sure Dark Prophecy would have made the difference. So I think that is why I will continue to play these games, and when I'm done, jump out of the game and analyze the replay and try to figure out where things went wrong. I hope you guys are excited for Stormgate to become available to everybody during the early access. That'll be happening on the 13th of August. So if you're watching this and you haven't jumped in the game yet, do know that I still have early access preview keys. All you have to do is comment with your Discord handle or your Instagram handle, and I'll be able to get it to you, assuming that I don't run out of keys. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.